Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Summer Lake in the Oregon Outback. No cell coverage, no internet coverage, and yet somehow I'm broadcasting to you right now. Somehow. Are we 5x5? I'm testing Starlink from a remote location. I'm so excited I can't even speak. Okay, we're 5x5. It's working. Now, I've already figured out a few things that I'm going to change for next time. I'll tell you about that in just a second, but let me see if I can find you on the iPad and we can communicate a little bit. But I see we have people here. This was not a scheduled live stream. This is just popping up. It's 12:30 on a absolutely gorgeous Tuesday afternoon, and I'm on my way to Reno, Nevada. I'll show you the car and my boxes and everything. I just pulled off the road. This is Oregon State Route 31. I don't know if you know the area. You're looking north right now. I'll swing you around in just a second, but this is Summer Lake. And I have nostalgia here for reasons I'll get into and a few other things as well, but I'm mostly just stretching my legs. I've been driving since 5 this morning. Said goodbye to Bijou and Liz at home in Ellensburg, Washington, and my destination is Reno, Nevada by supper time. It's been an absolutely gorgeous drive. And yeah, it looks like we're working here. Okay. Okay. I got all sorts of things to say. Let me settle myself down. This episode from Nick on the Road brought to you by Aha, sparkling water. You love it. Here's to you for joining us. I can't believe it. Live from this place. I'll swing you around. Oh, Liz, just barely waking up at 5. She's like, "Oh, you're bringing your Hawaiian shirt?" I'm like, "I don't know. I guess." Worn it since 10 years ago when I was filming on the Big Island with Tom Foster, but why not? No, that's not true. Okay, hardcore fans, here's a pop quiz for you. This is going to sound self-indulgent, but whatever. I'm excited right now. Which episode in Nick from Home during the coronavirus pandemic did I wear this Hawaiian shirt? Which episode? There were 75 of them. Sean loves Summer Lake. Yeah, where are you viewing from? And then I promise I'll flip you around and we'll play with the camera. We'll test a couple of other things, and also get into my concerns here. Eric Hutton, you are correct. Episode 75. I did 5 live streams a week starting St. Patrick's Day, and the last one was Craters of the Moon with the big book that was a gift to all of us at the end. Very heartfelt, tearful goodbye in late June of 2020. So this flashed on me right now. Okay, good. So we'll do a few quick things, but I need to hustle up, and I think I'll tell you why. Maybe I'm worried about nothing. Nola says hello from Australia. And Lake Oswego, I'm in your state now, Rock Hunter. Amherst Junction, Wisconsin. Everett, Washington. Los Gatos, California. Okay, I'm too impatient. All right, thank you for tuning in. We have 139. Okay, as promised, let me give you a panorama here. First of all, you are as wide as I can get. Yes. And I can come in, but we don't need that. And I can, let's see, I'm going to swing you west, I think. Right, I'm going to swing you west. This is, I think it's called Winter Ridge. So this is Summer Lake and Winter Ridge. And I think those names came from John Fremont, who was back here back in the 1820s, 1830s. I'm sure somebody can correct me. First white guy expedition through here, I think, before the Civil War. And I just got off, I can zoom. So this is one of my favorite roads, and I got a little story time here for you in just a bit. But this is State Route 31, and if you're having trouble placing that, it's not a freeway, it's not a U.S. highway, it's just a state route. I left Ellensburg, I came down US 97, Biggs Junction, Bend, and then south of Bend in Lapine, as I'm heading south on US 97, I hang a right at Lapine. Maybe you know that junction. That gets me on to Oregon 31. And I follow Oregon 31 out of the Pines, out of the Newberry volcano area, past some pretty cool spots. I don't know if you know them. Hole in the Rock. Oh boy. Fort Rock. There's a couple as I can't remember right now. And then you drop down, you go through the little town of Silver Lake, then you go up and over a pass. I think it's called Painted Rocks Pass. I think there's some petroglyphs there. And then you drop down into this Summer Lake area. And I stopped here because I needed a stretch. I needed some sun. I needed some fresh air. I needed some aha. You gotta love it. But I had it in my head as I'm driving, like, let me find a place that's got no coverage, like zero, like no bars, Verizon, no internet. That's here. And yet I can double check, but I think we're working. And if you're late to the party started 2 days ago, Mother's Day, and the party continued yesterday. Party by meaning I've been testing this Starlink thing. In the last 2 days, I've been practicing in my backyard using Starlink, and now I actually have it. Okay, get off of this tight shot. That was dumb. And I don't think I can go 360, but let's just try to keep you going this way. We'll give you some cloud shots. Why not? Let's get you some cloud shots. I'm telling you, man, it's gorgeous. You're all saying that it's looking really good, audio and video, and I'm so pleased by that. I mean, this does open up a whole new thing. Liz and I chatted last night. She said, well, you're going to have a long drive. I'm like, I like driving. She says, you're going to have a lot of time to think. And that's true. Just been thinking about this stuff and plenty of other things. So this is a Forest Service road. Oh, sure. So here's Old White. That's as far as I can go. And I timed myself, like, how quickly can I get everything out of the boxes? Can I remember how to get the dish going? So here's the Starlink dish. Plenty of cable, which I don't need. Plenty of north sky, which I do need, but that's no problem out here. And then I guess I'll bring you back up, swing you back around. I wanted to get off the highway. I wanted to get a little bit of a vantage point. And now we'll swing you. Let me keep an eye on the iPad here. Yeah, Brian, the air. I read an old biography written by Buster Keaton. You know who that is? Silent film star. I don't know why I was reading it, but he was describing, here's an old vaudeville guy, describing his living in Los Angeles in like the 19-teens and the early 1920s before he started making all of his famous black and white silent movies. And for some reason, maybe you're like that, maybe you can relate. There's certain phrases that just immediately stick. And he had a phrase in there describing Los Angeles in, let's say, 1919. He said the air was like wine. The air, just walking around, was like wine. And that, I mean, I can't get you out here with me, but this is as close as I can get. And the air is like wine. And I'm almost getting into story time about why this place is so important to me, why this road is so important to me, and why I feel like I know this area so well, even though I've just driven through a bunch of times. So now we're heading towards Alturas. This is where I'm heading when I'm done with you guys. Oh, here's the front part. I am almost going 360. Yeah. Okay. Well, sure. Why not? Why can't I go over here? Yeah. How do I get? I guess I do need. Can't see your comments and the picture at the same time. Okay, coming back. Oh, you need to come back. Hang on. Hang on, Patrick. So I'm guessing that some of you are already leaving comments in the live chat, and if you're watching this in replay, you will chime in on tidbits that you know about this area, and that's wonderful. That's part of this. But I feel like I just want to tell you a quick story, and then I think I'm going to just hit the road. I've already accomplished what I want to accomplish here. First of all, I'm here in midday, high sun, and I mentioned a couple days ago I'm now filming with 80, and he's 31, my oldest boy's age, and we have a good rapport already. And Brady's in Seattle, and he does every video, audio, editing, drone, all of that. So the pressure's on for him to continue the series, but he's up to it. I have a lot of confidence in him. But his approach is we're only going to film, this is Brady talking to me, we're only going to film in the last 4 hours of one day and the first 4 hours of the next. Golden hour. And those first 4 seasons of Nick on the Rocks were often done at high noon or in the middle of the day. Like I meet Chris Smart out at a location and we're filming during the heat of the day, during the overhead light. And when I do these in the future, and I'm sufficiently pumped at the moment, so of course I feel like I'm going to be doing this all the time now. I don't know. And it's not going to be this testing stuff forever. You know, I'll eventually just start doing geology programs in some way. I don't know. And thanks to many of you for leaving specific comments on how I can use this Starlink technology and what kind of programming I can come up with. So you've been helpful. Thanks. But my first major point is I think I'm going to avoid this hot sun directly overhead if possible, because I don't have a protection for that camera. I don't have protection for this laptop. I don't know. Let me show you my setup. And I guess maybe, can I do this without unplugging everything? I'm going to try. I'm just going to move you back. Come on, baby. Yeah. Oh, it's all cattywampus. Right. So I'm just out here kind of naked. Here's the sawhorses. There's the power supply. There's, I don't know what it is, but it's part of the Starlink thing. So the Starlink goes into this, and then here's the Ethernet cable that's going directly into that thing, and then it's all set. But my worry, and I don't know if it'll be a problem, but I feel like I need to make this one short. There's the ice chest on the sawhorses. I got no protection for this. And I don't know how much time I have before this heats up. And I never would have dreamt of such a thing, except that in the backyard 3 years ago, there was at least one live stream where suddenly the phone just quit because the phone overheated. I think it was an October day, but it was just a brilliant sun, and the phone just said, that's enough, I'm done, into some sort of protection mode. And so I guess I'll have some kind of a awning or umbrella or whatever, but if it's breezy, I don't want to have to worry about all of that. So I don't know, you might have some ideas, but in general, does this work? Interesting. In general, if I have the option, I'm going to be taking a page out of the Brady playbook, and I'm going to be doing this in a remote spot in the last 3 hours of the day. Here comes a car. Let's see if they stop and bother us. Behind you. Probably a Forest Service ranger, like, what the hell? Where's the permit for this? I'll give you a look. There they go. I mean, it's a guy in a Hawaiian shirt and shorts and a bunch of boxes. He can't be that harmful. Yeah, so I think photography-wise, things are going to pop if I choose some spots. I don't want to overthink it. You know, I just want to be as spontaneous as I am. I'm bringing you back. I want to be as spontaneous as possible, but I guess part of me does want to think a little harder about the golden hour. And that's part of this discussion right now because I don't think I'll overheat. You know how that works. I don't have direct sun on. If the sun's about ready to go behind this coulee cliff or something, that might solve that problem. Otherwise, the sawhorses and the ice chest, this is the right level. Everything fit easily into the car. You know, I got plenty of stuff with me, but most of this is like dual purpose. Like I truly have cold drinks and stuff in the ice chest. Aha, you gotta love it. The sawhorses fold flat in the back of the car. The Starlink thing goes into this box. This episode of Nick from the road, Nick on the road, Nick from the field, Nick on the satellite. It's brought to you by Starlink. You gotta love it. So that's nice and tidy. So, I mean, one of you made a comment last time. It's kind of like Noralee. I kind of felt like Noralee last night packing up the car. Like she's got everything planned just perfectly so that she's not got too much weight on the back of her bike, itchy boots. And I'm not like Noralee. I don't have to worry about weight. I can just cram this car full of stuff. But it is kind of fun to be real economical about what I'm taking, what I'm not, and having all this stuff fit nice and easily into this setup. And if it's truly, I think it took me 15 minutes. That's only going to be quicker to set this thing up. And I'm ready. So I'm not giving you any views, mainly because I don't know what I'm doing. Mainly because I don't have a geology lesson planned. I think I called this testing again. I just want to make sure people know that I'm not ramping up to do a whole geology lesson, but I will. You know, a thought I had an hour ago driving? I can use 2 cameras, just like I do in the classroom. I can have 2 tripods and 2 cameras, and I can have a close-up camera and a wide shot, and I can direct just like I have with those Friday live streams. Why not? Now, that violates my Norley rule, and now I'm adding a bunch of extra stuff for the car, but I mean, there's all sorts of things to play with for sure. Let me interact with you quickly, and then we will say goodbye. No, you know what? Before I do that, let me I will say goodbye to you and read off your towns in just a second, like that's a big deal. But this program for GSA, the meeting starts tomorrow in downtown Reno at the Whitney Peak Hotel. And I just want to share with you some of the talks that I'm making sure that I'm going to say. And I'll be quick, but assuming that some of you are loyal viewers, you already know some of these folks from past live streams, the Alphabet series or videos in the field or whatever. So I'll make this quick. Basil Tikoff speaking tomorrow, 8:45. He's speaking on the Sage Hen Flat, White Mountains, California, and exploration in Pluton emplacement, certainty in data, and the utility of salience maps. No idea what that is. Eldridge Moore's protege, John Wakabayashi, speaking at 10:40 tomorrow morning. Geologic mapping and related field work as cutting-edge science, new pattern recognition advances research. So these are 15-minute talks with 5 minutes for questions, and then they move on to the next person. So it's a whole auditorium full of people. Who else might you know? Robinson Cecil, Margie Russmore, Mike Eddy. I don't know if they're all going to be there. Maybe some of their grad students are speaking instead of them. I'm just looking for names that I circled that you would know. Tomorrow afternoon, Kathy Busby talking about the Alocitos Arc, Baja BC stuff. Mike Eddy again. Alex Hoinville, who's a grad student of Stacia Gordon and Bob Miller, talking about the Skagit Gneiss. Wes Hildreth, longtime USGS volcanology deposits mapper, talking about Mono Lake. And then the real reason I'm coming to this meeting is to sit on a Thursday morning and a Friday morning sessions, which are Baja BC, they're not labeled that way, but Baja BC sessions that are essentially the first part of the Penrose happening in Idaho. So I feel like I wanted to be here to hear what and see what was going on. So Thursday morning session, 8 o'clock, Late Jurassic to Eocene Tectonics of the North American Cordillera, session 1, Evolving and Emerging Models. Peter DeSales, Bernie Housen, Basil Tikoff, Bob Miller, Ellen Nelson, Becky Dorsey, Kathleen Surplus. Oh, you don't know some of these names, but you knew the first few if you were with us in the Baja BC series. Walt Snyder, who put together the flat slab Farallon plate model with Bill Dickinson long ago. I haven't seen Walt Snyder in 35 years. I hope to listen to his talk at 11:20, and maybe I'll be brave enough to go up and say something. Rich Gashnig on Thursday afternoon. Erica Boudreau, Rich's grad student at UMass Lowell, if you remember. A couple more and then I'm done. Thursday afternoon, who's speaking? Spencer Fuston from Houston. David Miller, not the David Miller I know, okay? And Friday morning, another Baja BC session, essentially. Terry Pavlis at 8 o'clock. Stephen Johnston, University of Edmonton, 8:30 a.m. Oh, that's a half an hour talk. Robinson Cecil at 9. George Garrels, Jordan Wang, Harold Stoll, Erin Donaghy. You remember her from a number of videos. She's talking about testing terrain transport along transpressive convergent margins, high precision uranium-lead geochronology, geologic mapping, and stratigraphic analysis of the Yakutat and Silesia terrains. John Garver, Sarah Roski, and then I'll probably be oversaturated and burnt out and probably will dip at Friday at noon. Okay, Yep, the iPad is done. iPad needs to cool down before you can use it. Okay. So I suppose that means that the laptop is not far behind, but let me squint into the sun. So the iPad overheated, and I suppose this thing. So where are you viewing from? 5 minutes, and then we'll quit. We'll cut it off right at 1 o'clock. Thank you, Todd. Geologically speaking, loves the Hawaiian shirt. Thank you. Mark says UMass Lowell, go Riverhawks. There's Northwoods 3D. Safe journey and have fun. Thank you. Where are you viewing from? Marysville, Washington. Goodbye from the Netherlands. Vancouver, Washington. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Maryville, Washington. Birch Bay, Washington. Boone, North Carolina. How many we got? 361. Fairfield, Ohio. La Crescenta, California. Troutdale, Oregon. Pahoa, Hawaii. Represent. Howley. Toutle, Northern California. St. Helens. Oh. Woodstown, New Jersey. Hayward, California. Jefferson City, Missouri. San Antonio, Texas. Whitshire, UK. Jonathan is in Ellensburg. Do I know you, Jonathan? Galveston, Texas. Louisville, Kentucky. Angola, New York. Hereford, UK. Glasgow, Scotland. Here comes another car. Using my peripherals, everybody. Using my peripherals. Took me 15 minutes to set up. Almost said easy peasy, which is a phrase I dislike. Oak Harbor, Washington. Guy didn't even look. Screw that guy. Northbrook, Illinois. Enumclaw, Washington. Woodlands, Texas. Squim, Washington. Beverly says, nerds from all over the place. Well, I happen to think we're cool. Beverly? We're cool. Obviously. Thank you. I love you, and goodbye from Summer Lake, Oregon, the Oregon Outback. Thanks to Mike in Seattle for getting me rolling with Starlink, and thank you to Adele in Seattle for the support. Thank you. I love you, and goodbye. End stream.